Good morning, everyone. And as always, what you're supposed to do, place your cross on verse. Once you develop a personal relationship with God, getting up in the morning, seeking Him, it's going to become so natural that you're going to feel weird not doing it. You understand? It's like you're missing something. Your day ain't going to go as smooth. Always begin your day with God. Find you somebody you like listening to. I ain't say worship or idolize. Somebody you like listening to that spreads the word with truth and get in the habit of listening to them. And not only listen to them, study yourself. I know a lot of people, they, with YouTube and the new social media, we don't want to read the word ourselves. We just listen to what other people say. I just showed you yesterday the sleight of hand of one preacher, teacher, who just added something to the word. You understand? People do that. And I don't know why. But the thing is, the Bible talks about it. The Bible talks about it. The Bible talks about people running to other doctrine. So you got to be careful out there. Very careful, people. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen. As I was stating the Lord's Prayer right there, I just remember when God put in my heart to say that every day. And now I can feel that it's so stronger because I believe it more. And the more you believe it, the stronger it gets. That prayer is so powerful, and I tell people this all the time. Jesus gave it to us, and He gave it to us for a reason. But today I'm going to read from Ecclesiastes. If God willing, I might read all of it. You can get a lot of wisdom from Ecclesiastes, Proverbs, Psalms, and many aspects of the Bible. I always talk about Song of Solomon. People, it's like the strangest book in the Bible. Like, what is this book in here for? And I truly don't understand all of the aspects of it myself. I done read it a few times. I even did a sermon on it a few years ago. I mean, a lesson on it. Because I rarely hear preachers post on it. I guess because it's got a little sexual innuendo in it. You know what I'm saying? But it's sexual innuendo about a husband and a wife, not about somebody on the streets. So you got to really learn from every aspect of the Bible. Anyway, let's start with Ecclesiastes, chapter 1. The words of the preacher, the son of David, king in Jerusalem. Vanity of vanity, says the preacher. Vanity of vanities. All is vanity. What profit have a man of all his labor which he hath taken under the sun? One generation passeth away, and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever. The sun also riseth, and the sun goeth down, and hasteth to his place where he rose. The wind goeth toward the south, and it turneth about into the north. It whirleth about continually, and the wind returneth again according to his circuits. All the rivers run into the sea, yet the sea is not full. Unto the place where whence the rivers come, till that they return again. All things are full of labor. Man cannot utter it. The eye is not satisfied with seeing, nor the ear filled with hearing. The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be. And that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun. Think about that, if there's no new thing under the sun. A lot of times we're like, man, I came up with a new idea. It's been billions and millions of people across this world. I'm sure somebody have done the same thing. Like people like, they plagiarized my song. Sometimes it's not even plagiarism. It's you felt it, you wrote it, there it is, it is. People want to take credit for everything. Oh, I want to sue you for this. Man, don't worry about it. Just let them use your words. You understand? When I started making music and trying to figure out the right thing to write about, God was like, how about you use my words? They work. All right, great. I'll use that. You know what I'm saying? But there's nothing new under the sun. People look at the times right now like all this crazy stuff going on. Homosexuality, adultery, murder, all this stuff going on. This ain't nothing new. One thing he said, one generation passes away, right? Only thing I see different is, and not even different, it's just History repeats itself, but it gets worse each turn. And it's going to get worse. That's why you got to stay at it. Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new? It had been already of old time, which was before us. Ain't this amazing? There's nothing new. The same Baal, these stars and idols worship is the same Baal they worship back then. There's no remembrance of the former things, neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come after. I, the preacher, was king over Israel in Jerusalem, and I gave my heart to seek and to search out wisdom concerning all things that are done under heaven. This sore travail hath God given to the sons of man to be exercised therewith. I have seen all the works that are done under the sun, and behold, all is vanity and vexation of spirit. That which is crooked cannot be made straight, and that which is vaunting cannot be numbered. There's another scripture that says, who can make straight what God has made crooked? So when you put two and two together, so who can straighten things out? God. He talks about a crooked and perverse generation. Who's going to straighten them out? You? Me? No. We got to leave people to God to straighten her out. He's the one that straightens people's paths. He's the one that makes you straight, makes you able to bend a bow of steel. I commune with my own heart, saying, lo, I am come to great estate, and have gotten more wisdom than all they that have been before me in Jerusalem. My heart had great experience of wisdom and knowledge, and I gave my heart to know wisdom, and to know madness and folly. I perceive that this also is vexation of spirit. For in much wisdom is much grief, and he that increaseth knowledge increaseth sorrow. And that is so true. The more you read this Bible, the more you read God's wisdom, the more you suffer. The more you see the evils in the word and how the enemy is working. And you also see how God is working. Chapter 2. I said in my heart, go to now. I will prove thee with myrrh. Therefore enjoy pleasure, and behold, this is also vanity. Why he say this? That pleasure is also vanity? Because it happens so fast, it's gone. Think the most natural creation that God created. When he made man and woman, he created sexual intercourse. If you're married, how long does that sexual intercourse last? Not long. That's a quick pleasure. It's gone away. And people have destroyed their lives over 10-minute pleasure, 15 minutes pleasure, whatever. People don't like for you to talk about sex, but sex is a natural thing. But it can't save your life. It might feel good. God made it to feel good. But he made it to feel good a certain way. He said, here's how I made everything beautiful in its time. You know, I wish I knew a lot of things that I'm spreading to you back when I was 13, 14 years old. I said, of laughter, it is mad, and of mirth, what doeth it? Think about it. They don't last long. You ain't finna laugh 24 hours a day. I sought in my heart to give myself unto wine, yet acquainting my heart. Now listen to this. This is the preacher now. I sought in my heart to give myself unto wine, yet acquainting my heart with wisdom, and to lay hold on folly, till I might see what was that good for the sons of men, which they should do under the heaven all days of their life. The preacher said that now. I made me great works. I builded me houses. I planted me vineyards. What's a vineyard? I made me gardens and orchards, and I planted trees in them of all kinds of fruits. I made me pools of water, to water therewith the wood that bringeth forth trees. I got me servants and maidens, and had servants born in my house. Also I had a great possession of great and small cattle above all that were in Jerusalem before me. I gathered me also silver and gold, and the peculiar treasure of kings and of the provinces. I got me men singers and women singers, and the lights of the sons of men as musical instruments, and in all of sorts. So I was great, and increased more than all that were before me in Jerusalem. Also my wisdom remained with me, and whatsoever my eyes desired I kept not from them. I withheld not my heart from any joy. Now, when you read that, you're like, well, that's what I'm supposed to do. Remember what the Bible said, the heart of man is deceitful. You can't trust in your own heart. So don't take this as you can do what you want. No. I withheld not my heart from any joy, for my heart rejoiced in all my labor, and this was my portion of all my labor. Then I looked on all the works that my hand had wrought, and all the labor that I had labored to do. And behold, all was vanity and vexation of spirit, and there was no profit under the sun. And I turned myself to behold wisdom and madness and folly, for what can the man do that cometh after the king, even that which have been already done? Then I saw that wisdom excelleth folly, as far as light excelleth darkness. The wise man's eyes are in his head, but the fool walketh in darkness. And I myself perceived also that one event happened to them all. Then said I in my heart, as it happeneth to the fool, so it happeneth even to me. And why was I more wise? Then I said in my heart that this is also vanity. For is there no remembrance of the wise more than of the fool forever? Seeing that which now is in the days to come shall all be forgotten. And how dieth the wise man as the fool? Therefore I hated life, because the work that is wrought under the sun is grievous unto me, for all is vanity and vexation of spirit. Now think about that. He said, I hated life. You know, this world, after you see all the things that's going on, you know why you're going to kind of start hating this place. And in reality, you should, because this is not your home. You're trying to go home. They said, love not the world and the things thereof. Now, let's thinking about the preachers talking about, man, I had this, I had that, I had that, I had that, but I'm going to die. You understand? All this vexation, all this vanity. He hated life. And he had all this stuff. Something was missing. Yeah, I hated all my labor, which I had taken under the sun, because I should leave it unto the man that shall be after me. Think about that. The Bible says you can't take nothing with you. People labor for billions and billions of dollars. They have a plan set out. I'm going to lead this to so-and-so. I'm going to lead this to so-and-so. But even after you die, you don't know if so-and-so is going to do the right thing by it. But one thing for sure, you're going to leave your material possessions behind. That's why God don't say put not your trust in gold and silver and things like that. And who knoweth whether he shall be a wise man? He said, wait, I should leave it unto the man that shall be after me. Now watch what he said. And who knoweth whether he shall be a wise man or a fool? And that's the truth. Yet shall he have rule over all my labor wherein I have labored, and wherein I have showed myself wise under the sun. This also is vanity. Therefore I went about to cause my heart to despair of all the labor which I took under the sun. For there is a man whose labor is in wisdom, and in knowledge, and in equity. Yet to a man that hath not labored therein, shall he leave it for this portion? This also is vanity and a great evil. For what hath man of all his labor, and of vexation of his heart, wherewith he have labored under the sun? For all his days are sorrows, and his travail grief. Yea, his heart taketh not rest in the night. This also is vanity. There is nothing better. When I started reading this, boy, and I didn't even, when I first started reading a lot of this stuff, because when I first started reading the Bible, I started from the beginning and went through. And I was reading certain things. I'm like, man, this ain't what they teach. There is nothing better for a man than that he should eat and drink, and that he should make his soul enjoy good in his labor. This also I saw that is from the hand of God. Check that out. He's not talking about wine. You heard what the preacher said. I drunk wine. Didn't the preacher say that? Come on, y'all. For who can eat, or who else can hasten hereunto more than I? For God giveth to a man that is good in his sight wisdom, and knowledge, and joy. But to the sinner he giveth travail, to gather the heap up, that he may give to him that is good before God. This also is vanity and vexation of spirit. It was one scripture, he said, the wealth of the wicked is stored up for the just. Ain't that amazing? The only time you really hear these next verses are every time somebody dies. You want to hear, let's read something old and something new. These words are profitable every day. To everything there is a reason and to time to every purpose under the heaven. So when you go through life, you're like, why is this happening? Well, God said all things work to the good of those that love him, those who are called according to his purpose. He said, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. Now he's going to go into the times and the seasons and the purposes. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. A time to kill and a time to heal. I forgot to say something before I started. Not your timing and not your will, but his timing. Keep that in mind when you read this. So I can just kill somebody anytime? No. He said it's a time. But think about who's in control of time and space. It's a time designated by God. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to break down and a time to build up. Think about how many times in your life you just saw yourself broken down, only to be built back up, and you had no control over it. A time to weep. How many times you've cried and you're like, why am I crying right now? And a time to laugh, and a time to mourn, and a time to dance. Check that out. A time to cast away stones, and a time to gather stones together. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. Husbands and wives, remember that. Mothers and fathers, remember that. Friends and family, remember that. Sometimes a hug is not the answer. A time to get and a time to lose. Now remember, when you read this goes for every soul under the heavens. A time to keep and a time to cast away. Think about it. When you buy vegetables and you sit them up too long, they get rotten. What you do with them? You throw them out. It's time to throw it out. A time to rend and a time to sow. A time to keep silence and a time to speak. A time to love and a time to hate. But you're not supposed to hate people as God, as men and women of God. Remember what I said. God's timing. A time of war and a time of peace. What profit hath he that worketh and that wherein he laboreth? I have seen the travail which God hath given to the sons of men to be exercised in it. He hath made everything beautiful in his time. You see? Who time? Also he hath set the world in their heart, so that no man can find out the work that God maketh from the beginning to the end. So who is all this about? God's timing. I know that there is no good in them, but for a man to rejoice and to do good in his life. Now look at that. What's good? Whatever the Lord says is good. You know, not what people think is good. And also that every man should eat and drink and enjoy the good of all his labor. It is the gift of God. Oh, he's only talking about water. Whatever. I know that whatsoever God doeth, it shall be forever. Nothing can be put to it, nor anything taken from it. Sound like something that was said in Revelation. And God doeth it, that men should fear before him. That which have been is now, and that which to be have already been. And God requires that which is past. Why? God knows everything. And moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment, that wickedness was there, and the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there. What is he saying? You might look at the court system, where they're supposed to be righteous judgment, but it's wickedness there. You might be in a church that's supposed to be a place of righteousness, but there's inequity there. It's true. You can't see good without seeing evil also. I said in my heart, God shall judge the righteous and the wicked. For there is a time there for every purpose and for every work. Let me pause and I will continue.